Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we this lovely 28th of March? How are you? Greetings from Edo State. How are you? Where are you? Where are you clicking in from? This is the day the Lord has made. We rejoice. We are glad in it. This is our what? Third Talk with Joyce this year. And we are excited. We are grateful because it is He who has given us life, who has given us strength, who has given us power to make it happen. God is good all the time, and we are just so grateful. So, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I see my people, Erica, George. Great, all the way from Namibia. Olutomi Shadiko, good morning. Such a delight to have us. Last month we talked about winning your year. We used the same theme, and I think it's going to be our running theme till the end of the year, or at least till we change it. Winning your year, because it's the one thing we really want to do. We want to win the year. We really want to win the year. And like I always say, if you've ever really heard me speak, I say whatever it is I say on these meetings and these calls, I'm saying them to myself as well. They help keep me accountable because I remember to do what I have said, as it were. So it's an enriching experience for me as it is for you, or at least as I hope it is for you. Last month in Winning Your Year, the one thing we talked about was being proactive, asking yourself, what can I do? What can I do? So I think I remember using an example of saying, someone might say, oh, they didn't let me see her. I went to her office to see her, but they didn't let me see her. The question now is, what else did you do? Did you go wait for her by her car? So did you even ask, try to snoop around to find out which is her car so that you could stand by her car at closing hour? Did you find out what time she closes so that at 6:45 or 5:45 you were by her car when she was leaving? Since they didn't let you see her in the office, you found a way to see her at her car. Or did you find out where she shops, where she buys petrol, or where he goes to play golf, or where she goes, where she relaxes on a Friday evening? If she's in the boat club or yacht club, did you go stay there and wait? Did you become a member? So you hear people who become members of polo clubs, for example, because they want to meet certain people there. That's being proactive. They're taking a step toward getting what they want in an unconventional way. You can't hear me. Nobody can hear me at all. Nobody. If anyone can hear me, please let me know. Please holla and say, I hear you. I hear you. Good morning. Here, I'm waiting for the comments. Okay, Priscilla can hear me. So, mechanic, please refresh your device. Okay, so please help me type in the chats. Mechanic, refresh your device since he can't even hear us. All right, thank you. Because I was wondering by now I would have heard that you couldn't hear me. Right, so being proactive. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Soma, Chioma, Erica, Priscilla. Being proactive is about thinking about what I can do. What else can I do? So you're trying to get a particular job, or you're trying to get a letter, you're trying to get something. So you're asking yourself, who are all the people I can ask for it? Can I write all their names? Can I get all their contacts? Can I go visit each and every one of them? I would use my political journey as an example. Look, you have to be proactive if you will even scratch the surface. No, like almost anything in life, success is not guaranteed. It is dependent on different factors, including what we might call luck. But in becoming lucky, like Bill Gates will say, in becoming lucky, there are certain things you may need to do. You will ask questions. Who do I see? Where do I go? What do I take with them? What is so? For example, let's just say, for example, in politics, in and it's not a Nigerian thing because I know it happens everywhere in the world. The peculiarities are just slightly different. In Nigeria, when you want to run for office, you go see your leaders, and based on our culture, you go with drinks. So imagine if you're proactive enough to find out the drink of choice of the person you're going to see, right? So we could just buy general drinks and take to everyone, but you now ask this person we're going to see tomorrow, what is her own type of drink? They say, she likes red wine. So you, okay, red wine here. This person we're going to see, what kind of drink does he like? Oh, he actually likes Coke. Oh, really? And you were just going to buy. So imagine when you go there with a pack of Coke, and you say to him, "Oh, I understood that Coke is your preferred drink, and so that's why I came with Coke. I still brought the drink for prayer, but I brought your Coke." That extra verb would be like, oh, you actually made the extra effort to find out. That's being proactive. But today, so I'm just refreshing our minds that that's what we talked about last month. Today, we're going to another level. And if I didn't mention it last month, I will mention it now, that we're taking these points from a book, one of the most life-changing books that I have encountered. It is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Oh, it's amazing. If you can buy it, read it. Please don't download the free version. That's infringing on someone's intellectual property. Go and buy your own. So number 2 is begin with the end in mind. That is our conversation for today. Begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. In other words, make plans. Begin with the end in mind and walk toward it. Many times we plan from where we are to where we want to go. Now we're saying, where do you want to go? And plan from there, coming backwards. So this reminds me of what I learned about the Google Maps, or the Google Map, that the way it is configured, the reason why you must put in your destination, right? When you want to search for something, is the map actually starts from where you want to go and routes the way back to you. It starts from the end. Why? They found that when they were trying to map it, and I'm saying it in a simplistic form from what I heard, when they were trying to fix it and they were starting with from where you are to where you want to go, they found that the error rate was much higher. That if you started the journey, you could get to a dead end more likely. You had much higher chances of getting to dead ends by starting from where you are, trying to find your way to where you want to go. So rather, they began to put the algorithm in a way that it will start from where you're going and find the shortest way to where you are. That's like when you're doing this, you're walking on a maze. How many of you have ever done those mazes, those puzzle books? I used to do a lot of them when I was much younger. So what we would just do is they will say, find the quickest way or find the best way to the piece of cheese or something. The best way was always to go to the cheese, go to the route that was open to the cheese and use it to map back out, because it will show you like 5 different openings. And I would watch my friends or other people who were playing the game in their own puzzle books. They would start from the first opening and start trying to find their way to the cheese. Then they would get to a dead end. They will go to number 2, start, no, 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 no. I will go to where the cheese is and put my pencil until I come out. And guess what? I was never wrong, because that was the way. So if we start making our plans, meanwhile, what are you drinking this morning? I have water, but I also have tea. If we start this morning, this year, well, maybe not start, if we continue the year, if we will win in the year, the question is, where will you be at the end of the year? Then we start working back. What will I need to do to get there? So, for example, someone says, I want my blood pressure to be at 110/70 by the end of this year or at the end of this year. Or I want my blood pressure to be 160 at the end of this year. This person speaking is 48 years old or 50 years old, right? And has had blood pressure issues where the blood pressure has gone up to 160, 160, 100, 170, 120, So the person has set the goal. That's it. The goal is to be at 110.60 or 110.70 at the end of this year. What 5 things will I need to do to get my blood pressure there? You see, you will begin with the end in mind, the end. So many people don't have that figure. They just go, well, I just need to get my blood pressure down. Do you understand what I'm saying? They just say, no, I just need to control my blood pressure. I just need to control my blood pressure. What does that mean? What does that translate to? What number are we speaking of? That's the end. So you study something and it says to get your blood pressure down to this, number one, drink 4 liters of water every day, sleep 7 hours every night, drop blue light at least 1 hour before bedtime, eat healthy fats like avocados for breakfast, and this, avoid this. So there are things you've known or you may have known, but now they are more specific to you. The question now is, do you take action? Given that you do follow what you know, you eat the healthier fats, the this, the that, you sleep here, you wake there, you protect your this, your that, your that. Guess what? By December, even if you haven't hit 110.70, you will definitely have dropped it from that 160 or 170 where it was, because you are on your way, beginning with the end in mind. Hi, Grace. Good to see you, my sister. Teila, morning. And Miss Oma drank water. Good, good. Begin with the end in mind. So somebody says, I would like to have 3 million in my savings by the end of this year. I would like to have 3 million naira or $3 million in my savings at the end of this year. So, what month are we in now? We are in March, but you can as well say we're in April because we're 3 days or so to the end of March. Hi, Donalyn. So, we have April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. What, that 9 months to save 3 million? How much money would I need to save per month to hit 3 million? 3 million divided by 9, that's 333,333 naira every month. So I now ask myself, what's now my plan to save this amount of money every month? First of all, do I even earn this amount of money every month? If I save this amount of money every month, will I have food to eat and take care of my bare necessities? Where would I save this money from? And then I might realize that this is the money that we've been using to do something else. Maybe this is the money that I spend on my community projects every month. And I say, I need the 3 million in my savings because I have nothing in savings. So if anything goes wrong right now, I'm flat. So I can suspend community contributions for the rest of this year. We'll continue next year. Let me meet my goal. Okay. Every month I used to give 300,000 to community projects and 40,000 to something. So I will forfeit them. You see, it becomes clear. I will forfeit them. Then the next thing I do is I go to my banking app or I go to my bank and I create a, what do you call it? A direct debit. What do you call it? Recurring debit. What's that thing called? Standing order. Thank you. I create a standing order where on the first of every month I am debited 333,333 naira into some accounts. And then guess what? By December 31st, bam, I have 3 million saved actually. And then I move it. Hi, Cheryl, Biobasi, good to see you. So I remove that and I keep it. And guess what? By January next year, I go back to giving my 300,000 to my community and 40,000 to the other thing I was doing because I began with the end in mind. So the question for us this morning, what is your end? Oh, I want my children to be independent by the time they turn 18. Now they are 6, 5, and 4. Google what to do to get your children to be independent minded and begin to do them. One of the reasons why we don't achieve goals is that we many times don't even know the goals. We have the wishes, we have the desires, we have the hopes, but the goals are not clear. And a goal should have a timeline, should have a date. Hi, Kingsley, good to see you. The goal should have a date preferably so that it keeps your plans, not to put you under pressure, no, but to keep you focused. I was talking about Mavi, how are you? I was talking about the title of during one interview recently. I was talking about the title of my autobiography, By the Grace of God, the book I should release when I turn 50. That is in exactly 10 years, by God's grace, in 2032. The book is titled Blinders and Earplugs. Blinders and Earplugs. And I got that name more or less from a book called Black Beauty. It's a book about a horse. I read that book when I was in primary school, and it just always had a great impression on me. And I think I read it again in maybe JS2 or JS3. It was about the horse called Black Beauty. Black Beauty was a racehorse, and Black Beauty was moved from one stable to another. And when he got to some particular stable, was it a he or a she now? I think he was a he. She was a she, yeah? Black Beauty was a she. When she got to a particular stable, she now realized that they put these things on her eyes and she was uncomfortable. Like, what's this? What's this? And they said, you're now a racehorse. I'm simplifying it the best way I recollect. Maybe I should read that book again, right? And they said one of the reasons why they put blinders on the sides of the racehorse. Now, if you will even Google it, if you will, let me see, horse blinders. Let me see, horse blinders. Let's see. Okay. Let's see the images. Okay. Let me share my screen and show us. Share screen. And, okay. Let me share. So you see, for those of us who may not have seen this before, can you see my screen? Yeah. See the horse blinders? Yeah. Those things at the side of their eyes, see this one over here. See a human being with blinders. See the blinders there. So what do the blinders do? Right? See this one. It's almost like the eyes are completely covered. Can you see? That's blinders. What do the blinders do? The blinders stop the horse from seeing what is happening in the next lane so that they can focus on their own race. That when horses can see what's happening in the next lane, when they can see the horse next to them, they get scared. They begin to shift it to avoid distractions. And this was created after people had been doing horse racing and realized that there's a difference between when horses can see themselves and when they can't. So they give them blinders that give them focus. So, beginning with the end in mind, the end of this game is to win. We came here to win. So, I'm going to blind my horse so that he or she cannot see what's happening in the next lane, so that they will focus so much and we will win. So, if we will win our year, we will do what? Begin with the end in mind. So, I'll ask you to do this exercise with me right now. Please, if you can, if you have something to write, I would expect that you really have something to write. I don't want you to leave it for later because you may be distracted and not do it. Write out three, just three, please, not more than three. Please, for the sake of this exercise right now, don't write more than three things. Three areas where you want to win this year. Three areas of winning for you this year. It can be two. I would even prefer one, just one, but maximum three. Three areas of winning. Is it in your lifestyle? Is it in your relations and relationships? Is it in your business, your community service, your health and wellness, your diet, your health numbers, your finances, your savings and investments, your investment culture, your what again? I'm sure there are other areas. In terms of self-education and personal development, just one, two, or three, not more. Areas where you want to win in 2022. Someone might even be proactive and write for 2022 and 2023, but let's stick with 2022 as best we can. Your career, Now, write what is that end goal for these three things, or this one, or these two that you have picked? What's my end goal? So here's the problem where I was talking with someone very recently, and she said, Joyce, my goal this year is to marry. I said, okay, let's refine that goal. Else, we'll run into some problem. I said, who do you want to marry? She said, describe this fellow, describe the marriage. Do you want to marry your friend, somebody you can gist with, say everything about, laugh, somebody that reads books like you or enjoys watching sports? Or she's like, she didn't think of all those ones. Oh. Exactly the point, and that's why you may marry, but then you will marry. Kingsley, of course, you will like marry things. You may marry, but then you might marry without winning. You see, you can marry. It was the goal, but did you win? Because you might marry and go, oh my God, what did I do here? This guy, he does this. He is not that. Because the goal was to marry, not to marry my friend, my this, who we can do this together. We believe in the same kind of things. So you see, you're writing the specificity of who you are marrying will even guide the conversations when you're courting. If you will win, it will begin with the end. The end needs to be as clear as possible. The end needs to be as clear as possible. So when I was doing my neuro linguistics programming training, we did an exercise where you write your end, and you will write it something like this. On no, you'll say, where's my calendar? Let me open the calendar to see. December. Let me go to December. December 31st is a Saturday. So I would say something like, it is Saturday, the 31st of December 2022. I am sitting outside in the front yard in my house in Ewu. I can smell the jollof rice being cooked by Mama Victory, and there's music playing by this. Six elders are coming in to, or four members of the community are coming to do this. We are about to go to the Dunele Town Hall for our pre-Christmas or pre-New Year gathering, where we shall be sharing items to widows and this and that. My son is this. My husband is that. I am this, that. Oh, an alert comes in right now, and I have just been credited with this amount of money on my GT Bank app. Oh, glory to God. You're writing your future as it is your present. Can you see the details? You're talking about what you can smell, what you can see, who you are with, where you are. You can even write what you're wearing. I'm wearing my proudly Asa green t-shirt today with my black shorts, and I am blah. If you are so specific about that picture, which is something I would like us to do, I'd like us to do it today, this morning. Write a story, not too long. It can be a whole page full, but be so specific. Who is there? What do you smell? What sounds do you hear? You can even say, uh, Machinyere just called me to say thank you for the 280,000 I sent her for this. You are writing your dream in present tense. And by the time you finish writing that dream, you start asking yourself what to do to get all these things. The house in Ewu, is it ready? Do I have 280,000 somewhere in my account that I can actually send to Machinyere if she needs it? Or how do I now build that what do you call that kind of fund? My charity fund, so that by Christmas, I have enough money to give to people. I can buy rice for some widows. I can give food to some people who are this and that and the other. Oh, I can do that. I can do this, right? begin with the end in mind. Is this an exercise you will do? Is this an exercise you can do? You can even say, oh, it is the 14th of November 2022, this glorious Monday morning. I'm on my way to work and I'm listening to the radio when my business advert is played. I'm listening to Cool FM or Nigeria Info or something, and they played my business advert, and I'm screaming in the car with my friends because I finally have my ad on radio. Oh, it is Monday, the 14th of November, 2022. I am sitting at this, and that happens because put it in present, feel it. You see, when you say it that way, you actually feel the excitement. My ad is actually on radio. Then you now come back and say, what four things, what two things, what five things do I need to do to ensure that my ad is finally playing on radio by November 14th? What does it cost? What is the cost of the ad? How many minutes, how many seconds ad? Is it a 30-second, 45-second, 60-second ad? How many times would we play it? Once a day for 7 days or once a week for 10 weeks? You see, you've started asking questions that otherwise you may not have asked. What is the cost of the production? Who can produce it for next to nothing? Who do I even know that can help me pay for this ad? You see, you start asking these questions. When you begin with the end in mind, you become proactive. You start asking questions ahead about what can I do? Is this making sense to you? If this makes sense to you, please write MS in the chat. MS. Oh gosh, I love the feeling of the hot tea going down. Let me see your MSs. If it's making sense to you, thank you. Thank you. Making real sense. MS. Thank you. I see your messages. Thank you. So, as we close, as we what? As we close, please do this for you. Do this for me. I'm doing this. Believe me, I've done many of these exercises and I keep refreshing them. And then I live in the reality of my dreams. People who are close to me know I talk about my dreams as if they are here today. I talk about because I've understood the power of how it works. I talk about the end as if the end is here, so that my reality is to make that end work. So that if Tumishe comes and wants to quarrel with me, and I see that this quarrel will take me away from this dream, I will quickly call Tumishe and say, Tumishe, I beg, let's not quarrel here. My darling sister, I love you, please. Because I have the end in mind. And that end shows me that quarreling with Tumishe will spoil the end. Sometimes we quarrel. Sometimes we miss out making certain calls. Sometimes we break off certain relationships. Sometimes we don't start certain relationships because we don't have the end in mind. So you get into the airport. You see that woman sitting down there, but you don't walk over to make friends with her and introduce yourself to her because you have not seen her connection to your dream, because the dream is not clear. But when the dream is clear, you get in there, you see that woman, you say, that woman is the regional director for Nestle. Wow. How do you even know she's the one? Because you have Googled everybody. You've seen all the pictures of all the people who are players in your dream. You've Googled them. You know them. So when you see her, you identify her, say, she's the one. Then you go and meet her. Ma, good morning. How are you? I'm such a fan of yours. My name is Joyce Daniels. May I sit with you? Is it okay? I'll just take only 5 minutes of your time. And you see, I'm all vivacious. And she's like, just smiling. Who is this one? Oh, ma'am. Oh, thank you for all that you do. I read your bio on LinkedIn the other day, and I saw that you've done this. Oh, gosh, people like you are just heroes for us. See, I'm already warming up to her, and I'm doing it genuinely. Rule number 9 in 30 Human Relations Principle of Dale Carnegie is make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. Make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. That's Human Relations number 9, Human Relations Principle number 9. If you will win friends and influence people. So I tell her how she's such a blessing to humanity and to humanity. And I'm not fluffing. I'm being truthful and honest. And I say, You're such a blessing to me. Mom, is it okay if I take your contact? I would like to stay where I won't worry, but I'd like to stay in touch at least once in a while. Maybe ask you a question on WhatsApp, which you can respond to at any time that you like. Oh, I will be so grateful, so honored. And then she gives, okay, this. And then I ask her a question. So, if you don't mind my asking, where are you traveling to today? And she says, oh, I'm going to Abuja. What's happening there? Oh, this conference. I said, oh, really? Are you speaking? Oh, what will you be speaking about? Oh, fantastic. Have you practiced it? Do you want to practice with me? And she now laughs and goes, well, I don't mind. Okay, give me your top 3 points. And then she does, I'm like, oh, fantastic. Okay. And then I go, well, I'm a speaking coach. And I've coached for 15 years. I've coached over this thousand number of people. So I'll give you one tip, just one tip to help your speech even go better. May I? And she says, yes. I said, thank you. From here till when you land Abuja, keep saying, I am a breath of fresh air to my audience. Was that? I am a breath of fresh air to my audience. Say this throughout your flight. By the time you land Abuja, all your points will be coming out as fresh air. Because you would have conditioned your mind. It's not about what you want to say, it's about the state of your mind. So, Mama, I wish you the best. I wish you a wonderful speech. Please remember to give somebody your phone to take pictures and record videos that you can look at for posterity. I love you so much. God bless you. Bye. Won't that woman love me? Please ask me. Answer me. Won't she love me? I took 5 minutes of her time. I took value from her. I loaded her with value and I left. Why? Because she was already in my radar because I could see how I would need her in the next 9 months. So I have done what you call savings deposits. I have invested in her account. I credited her account. I gave her small credits. And you see, when you put money in savings account, as long as you don't withdraw too much, there will be interest. By the time I call her in October, because between October this month, when I meet her in October, I'd have sent her 1 or 2 messages on WhatsApp. Maybe I'll even take a picture with her at the airport, and I'll send it to her. Oh, it was such a wonderful opportunity to have met you. Let me know. Then 2 days after, I'll say, how was the program? I'm sure you were a breath of fresh air. And she'll go, wow, that thing worked. It worked like magic. And I go, hey, fantastic. Guess what? She's now happy to be my friend. I'm no longer just the one looking for her. And then 6 months later, she might call me and say, Joyce, can you have a conversation with members of my team? Well, look, and I'm not telling you what I don't know. I'm telling you what I do. This is my life. I just need to do it all the time. This is my life. And then that's how the woman one day calls me, gives me work, or somebody says, oh, this woman gave us your contact details and that. Meanwhile, when I need her is November, I've still not told her. Or maybe December, I want her to be a speaker in Wiser. So by October, when I just say, after I've done one thing, I say, ma'am, would you consider speaking at our program Wiser? It's about children. Say no more. I'm in. Say what? No more. No more, no more. For many thousand years, there will be no more sorrow. No more, no more, no more, no more. For many thousand years, there will be no more weeping. No more, no more, no more, no more. For many thousand years, there will be no more struggle. No more, no more, no more, no more. In 2022, there will be no more foolishness, no more, no more. For many thousand years, there will be no more nonsense, no more, no more, no more, no more, no more. In 2022, I love you with all my heart. I'm rooting for you. I want your success because your success is my success. Your success brings glory to God and brings improvement to our nation, Nigeria. So I need you to succeed. There will be no more nonsense. Chimo, daddy, mo, for many thousand years. Write your dream. And you can have different dreams. Do you know how my son was 11? David was 11 when I wrote a dream and I shared it with my choir sister. I shared it with what's her name now? Oh, she was one of the first people I trained as an MC in 2014. She attended my first 2013. She attended my first class. What's her name? She's in Uyo. Calabar girl, light skin. Deborah, that's her name, Deborah. Auntie Debbie. I shared it with Auntie Debbie. I wrote a dream. I wrote my dream. I wrote about when my son was graduating from university. How I wrote it. I wasn't just saying, I actually wrote it. And if I check for my diaries, I think I still have that diary. I wrote that on his valedictory day from university, he was graduating at age 25. I think it was 24 or 25. I think it was 25 actually. I wrote that he would enter university at age 21 and then graduate at 25. And he was valedictorian. And in giving his speech, he had talked about all the wonderful things. And he says, in closing, allow me focus on the one person who has been a pivot to me, my this and that, 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 that. She's been a ray of sunshine, a this and that and that. I was already crying because I knew he was talking about me. My mother, she has taught me this, taught me that. And he asked the whole school to get up to clap for me. See, I wrote it when he was 11. It's not going to happen by chance that, okay, well, I wish one day these children will be. See, I want it. I am planning it. Everything I'm doing is toward it because I do desire it. And I'm not going to be ashamed to say it that I want on my son's graduation day. I want him to tell everybody to stand up and clap for me. I want it. The reason I have such guts to ask for it is that I realize that one of the things that is a great value to me is recognition. I value recognition over money, and that's a different topic for another day, how to find your values. One of my greatest values, one of my top 10, is it one of my top 10? Yes, one of my top 10 values, I think it's number 8 or number 9, is recognition. I value recognition. If I do something, please just tell the world that I did it. You have paid me. Look, even if you don't pay cash, but you tell somebody and they tell somebody, oh, see what Joyce did for me, I'm okay. And it's not pride. It's like it's love languages. It's like what you call love language. Some people don't want to be seen. Their reward language is money. No matter if you like tell the whole world, if you don't give them money, forget it. I have a sister like that. She's like, she doesn't know this one I'm talking about. What's the dollar sign? If she doesn't care if whether you recognize her, you tell her thank you. It's not her business. Her own is, are you paying? Yes, I have a sister like that. If she's going to offer service, she wants to see the dollar sign and it has to be signed, sealed. She said there's no gentleman agreement here. Yeah. But me, before I'm talking about dollar sign, my own is, are you going to put on Instagram? Will you tell the world about it? So what matters to you? So recognition matters to me. I've been able to identify it. Why was it that that place I went to work, I felt so happy even though they didn't pay me so much? Oh, why I was so happy was that at the end of the event, when they were giving vote of thanks, they thanked me specially. They remembered to thank me. Meanwhile, I'll go to for certain other events where they pay me so much money, and by the time I'm leaving, I'm like this, like, because nobody appreciated me. They didn't value me. They gave me the big money, but I didn't feel valued. No, everybody know yourself. Know yourself so that you even know how to ask. Therefore, that's why now sometimes I ask my clients, put my face in your brochure, do a flyer for me and put on social media to show that I am the one who's going to do the work. Because that's what matters to me. I want that physical recognition, whether you're paying me money or not. If not, it will be paining me and I can't even tell what's paining me, but I try not to digress. Well, this is not a digression because if you know the end, you will know what to ask for. The end that I want is recognition. So I know what to ask for. What are the different ends that you see? I believe this has made sense to us. So get to work. Sit down between now and 7 if you can and write that dream. It is Sunday, the 16th of October, 2022. I am sitting with my husband or my wife or my friend, my colleague. I am in the office about to go in for this presentation and this, or I have just come out of our QBR where it has been announced that my promotion has been given based on my figures that were this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I have just received my appointment letter as GM, this, that, because of this, that. I have just gotten to, oh, it is the 14th of this. I have just gotten out. I just come down from the plane in Kaduna where I was this, that, and the other, where this, that. Please do it. Do it and do it now. Do it because God's grace is able to make God is able to make all grace abound to you, so that in all things and at all times, having all that you need. How do you know what you need if you don't know the end? If I walk into the kitchen and I say, "What are you cooking?" I say, "I don't even know, Seth." So how do you know you have the right ingredients? But if you say, "I want to cook egusi soup," we now ask, "Do you have egusi? Do you have crayfish? Do you have meat? Do you have salt? Do you have oil?" Right? We say, "I don't even know." So when we say God should provide, what is He providing? What is His grace making abound for us? We've said enough. I love you. Have a great day. Cheers to winning your year by being proactive and by beginning with the end in mind, writing your dream and following it with all your heart and soul. If you haven't liked the video, like it because it makes it easier for other people to discover the video. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, I'm wondering why. Do subscribe and click on the bell icon so that every time we post something, you are notified, or every time I go live, you are notified. I love you. God bless, and bye for now.